Hello, it's Rebel Black here from The Rural Woman. I'm so glad that you stopped by to find out what that one simple thing is that is going to change everything in your life. It's going to help you feel credible and feel like you are being heard in your marketplace. It's going to help you feel like you are enough. It's going to help you feel like you are one person, one whole person, and that you're not splitting yourself into multiple directions. Before I give it to you, I wanted to just take you on a little quick trip. I've had quite a few people asking me about where it is that I live, so I wanted to just, give you a view. Here's my office. This is where everything for The Rural Woman happens, and I just want to share with you the space that I live in. And the reason I want to do this is, apart from the fact that people have been asking me, this is our restaurant. So that green shipping container there, we converted 12 or 13 years ago into a full commercial kitchen, and we built tables, and we had a shed and a fire pit. We're getting ready for our next event at the moment. So we built that quite a few years ago, had a restaurant called Dig In. And so the reason I want to show you where I live is because, like I said, people have been asking, because The Rural Woman is now quite well known nationally, and people want to know where we come from. And so we're here in Lightning Ridge, this at least where I am. All the other team members are across Australia, but Lightning Ridge is the central HQ for The Rural Woman. But Lightning Ridge has taught me something very special that I wanted to share with you. This isn't the one thing, but it's a very important message. And that is that my dream is not your dream. So I was watching a video the other day of a guy who was showing people his place, and he had like 1 million cars and 1,000 bedrooms and this huge mansion. And I was watching it thinking, well, that's great for you, but that's not what I aspire to. I aspire to other things for me, and that didn't make I didn't feel like that made his dream wrong, and it certainly didn't make my dream wrong. But in the past, like maybe a year or two ago, I would have watched that and been thinking, oh, well, what I've got is so inadequate, and why aren't I dreaming for those things? Like, why has he got them and I haven't? I would have been really comparing myself and feeling scarce and scared, and like I had to be more or want more, and that I didn't, but that would make me feel bad. So I felt really excited that I was in a different space, that I could watch that video and get from it the lesson, but allow him to have his dream. And I'm really grateful that Lightning Ridge has taught me that, because the people here, they've all got different dreams, and they're all dreamers and doers. And just because one person dreams one particular way doesn't mean that everybody has to dream that way. So what you're seeing behind me now is my husband and my dream. And this is our simple place that is growing every day. We've got the start of a food forest over here, and our massive veggie patch, which has just grown like 3 times the size in the last 2 months, and our home in the background there, which is actually a 40-foot caravan that we renovated and added to over the years. We started 15 years ago with a 40-foot caravan and 2 bedrooms and little kids, and we grew it, and as we could afford to, we added to it, and it's not a mansion, but it's perfect for us. It's home, and we love it, and it makes us feel good. And why I wanted to bring you up into this space is to share that one thing with you. Because the thing that I've learned in all of my life, really, but really the last few years, the 5 years that I've been coaching and working with women, and the last 3 or 4 years where I've been really intensively working on myself, the thing that I've learned the most has been the lessons I've got from nature. And the one thing, the one really powerful, simple thing that helps you shift everything in your life, like we're talking about changes that just come from nowhere in your business, in your relationships, in your health and well-being, when you just focus on this one thing. And I know it sounds too good to be true, and if I was you listening to me right now, I'd be thinking, well, maybe she's lost it, you know, like maybe it's the sun's got to her, that heat in the outback New South Wales just made her crazy. But I've spent years studying this stuff and watching it in myself and watching it in hundreds and hundreds of other women. And one of the things that I love to do is try and get to the essence, right? So it's fine to learn new skills, and it's fine to, you know, read books and kind of apply learning at a head level. But it doesn't, what I was seeing at least in the women I was working with and myself, was this kind of slow release change. You know, it was like things were hard and things were taking time, and you had to apply, you know, this rule in this part of your life and that rule in that part of your life. And, you know, you had to read a book on leadership for leadership, and you had to read a book on business for business, and a book on communication for relationships. Like, there's all this, we compartmentalised our lives into segments, and therefore you've got to learn a different way over here to what you do over there. And so we become these really fragmented people. And it was a conversation around wholeness that really got my brain thinking on this. It's like, what do we want in life? Like, we want to contribute, we want to have great lives, we want businesses or jobs that really fulfill us, we want great relationships with our family, with our kids, but we try and compartmentalise them, segment them. And that's exhausting. Like, when I try and do that, when I get back into old patterns, or I find myself getting stressed or overwhelmed about a particular thing not working, and then I try and be like, oh, I must make my marketing work, or I must make this relationship work, and I approach it with a single focus of that particular issue, it just makes it harder. It doesn't fix it. It just like amplifies it almost. Whereas when I applied this one bit of thinking to my life, and I forgot that I had all these other compartments out there, and I just said, I am a whole person, so I'm just going to apply this one idea and trust that I'm going to get outcomes, better outcomes in all areas of my life. It revolutionised everything. It revolutionised my business, my relationships, my the way that I lead. And I'm not perfect. Please do not hear that in what I'm saying. I am a work in progress, daily, a daily work in progress for the rest of my life, and I'm completely cool with that. But I am evolving rather than changing, and I think the difference is that I don't see that I am a problem to be fixed, but that I am a healing human being on a transformational evolution, and with this one focus as the first priority. And the one focus as the first priority is energy. And my garden taught me this, that's why I brought you here. So you're in amongst the eggplants, there's some eggplants down there, the cucumbers, a bit of celery, some basil that's about past its due, and lots of area for new growth, right? So my garden taught me this. Plants take the energy that the sun gives them and the nutrition from the soil, and they turn it into food for us. And we take that food, that energy, that stored energy from the sun and the rain and the moon and the soil, we take that energy and we consume it, and our bodies convert it into energy in our bodies. It gives us movement, it gives us thought, it gives us the ability to be and do. But we don't focus on energy. We don't focus on that as a priority. We focus on behaviour, and we focus on our thoughts. You know, we say, well, if we want a positive outcome, well, we have to have positive thinking. And that's true. But have you got positive energy? And another step around that is, have you got a positive belief system? That's a whole nother conversation. But are you today doing something to shift your energy. So if you're in an energetic negative or deficit, which a lot of people are, so often you'll hear people talk about energy in the context of, oh, I haven't got enough energy at the end of the day, or there's in a deficit or lack of energy. That's when we hear people talk about it. But we don't then actually sit down and say, all right, well, what's my energy strategy? Like, what's my energy plan? What's my master plan? What's my blueprint? How am I going to harness energy, create more energy, allow it to come to me, build it, you know, and allow it to be a driving force in my life instead of a hindrance? We don't do that. So I think that we're missing something massive, and that's what I'm so keen to share. So there's one exercise that I want to do that shows you are an energetic being, and it's this one. So take your hands, and what I want you to understand here is that you create your own energy. It's not something that is, you know, kind of imposed upon you. That it's something you can create from within, and that if you're feeling like you're lacking energy, it is something you can completely change in your life. Now, you may have done this exercise before, and you may not have. Either way, just join with me here. So we're going to put our hands together. We're going to give them a really big rub. Can you feel the heat? And now I want you to pull your hands apart and bring them back in together. Can you feel the force that sits between your hands? Can you feel the tingling in your fingers? Can you feel that there's almost like a vortex, like a ball of energy sitting between your hands right now? That's energy. You created that. In a really short space of time, you created that feeling of energy. The other thing I want you to do is to give your arms and legs, so you might have to stand for this. I'm going to stand for this, so we might just relocate across the garden. I've got a burr in my foot, so hang on. Here we go. So, take the burr out. What we want to do, now we're going to shift our energetic state. So now we know we are energetic beings, and that we can control, master, harness, feel energy. Now what I want to show you is that you can shift your energetic state really simply. So if you're thinking, I haven't got any energy, that's a thought. You can change it. That's what Louise Hay says. So we're going to shift our energetic state. So I just want you to come into your body, like just stand with your feet firmly on the ground with me. Big deep breath in. Feel your body. It's energy moving. You might not feel anything, but at least you're standing in your body. Okay? Now I want you to think about, how is my energy? So if we're tuning in, like, is it out of 10? 10 being like I am full of energy. I feel energy rising, like I feel connected, I feel excited, I've got, you know, this kind of, I can feel energy in my body. 10. 0, not at all, like I'm a dead fish. Got nothing. That, somewhere between 0 and 10, you could be either 0 or 10 or somewhere in between. So find the state. Got it? You know what it is? Alright. So now what I want you to do is give your arms and legs and body a big old shake, right? So we're going to start with the arms. We're going to shake, shake, shake our arms. At the same time, we're shaking our legs. We're shaking our legs out. We're giving our head a bit of a wobble. Like, okay, you're in your office right now feeling a little bit stupid and crazy. Who cares? You're an energetic being. So we're just moving everything. Give your hips a wobble, shake your butt, shake your booty, get your shoulders going. Like, let's just move. And come back. Now what's your state? I bet it's higher. If you're already 10, I don't know, is there somewhere to go from there? But I know that I shifted at least 1 or 2. Now, because I can feel my legs, I can feel my arms, I can feel my butt, I can feel my head. I can feel the movement. You're an energetic being. But we don't seek to harness that. We think we have to exercise. We think we have to do more. We think we have to get better at a particular skill. And all of those things are important. But if you start with energy at the core of your humanness, at the core of who you are as a whole person, and you move that state, everything else unlocks. And it's so exciting to know that you have the power within you to change everything, to affect every outcome in your life, even the ones you don't feel like you have control of. You have the power, but not by behavior, not by changing who you are, but by enhancing and harnessing the energy of who you are. And you've already done it. You just did it already, just by shaking your body. You absolutely shifted the energy that was within you. So that's the one simple thing. Now, what I'm really passionate about is sharing this with other people. And this is like my master work. The last 5 years I've been drilling down and listening and trying to figure out what is the essence, like if there was just one magic pill that I could give these beautiful rural women that I love so much and I care about so deeply, what would it be? And it's this. And so we've crafted the Full Bloom Mastermind so that you might join us on an energetic journey to self-discovery, to transformation. So what we say is, you're perfect just as you are. We don't want to change you. We don't want you to feel like you even need to change. But we want to empower you with the understanding of the power you have within you already, so that you can bloom where you're planted. Because that's our mission. If you bloom, everywhere around you, everyone around you blooms too. And so if we can help you tap into that innate reservoir of brilliance that is within you already by just unlocking one tiny thing, your energy, everything else has got this massive flow-on effect, and it's so exciting. So I've spent the last few years trying to pull together what I think is a truly transformational journey. So it's 9 months. And it's not 9 months for some random reason. It's a deliberate 9 months. That is what the human body says is a gestational period, is an ideal gestational period. And we see this as a nurturing space, which of course the female brings to the world. She brings the most incredible nurturing space of her body. And we forget that. We forget that as women we are already tuned into this. So it's a 9-month program, quite deliberately. And what we work with you on as a collective, as a group, is this notion of energy and how we harness energy. So help you developing your own unique energetic blueprint, because we're all different. This is not a cookie cutter, one size fits all thing. This is uniquely crafted and tailored for what we know you're looking for and you need, but to be able to deliver it in a way that you get exactly what it is that you came for. We use the tools and resources that are amazingly available to us. We use the concepts of systems. So we look to nature for our answers. I've learned so much from being in this garden and from the grounding that it has given me, from the understanding, from looking at how nature works in its ideal fashion, and how do we apply those learnings of the perfect system into our own life. We help you start to look at your life in that way. We do this through connection and content and communication. So we have online forums together with everyone that's part of the mastermind. We get together face to face twice a year in really amazing places. We will blow your mind with how nurtured, how stretched, how supported, and how unbelievably transformed you will be with those face-to-face connections. But we also create safe spaces during the 9 months online where you can connect with the other members of the community as well as our coaches. Now, here's the thing. I am bringing this together. So I feel like I'm a bit of the crucible. So my gift is finding the most extraordinary concepts and then people and bringing them together. Now, I consider that you, if you've listened this far in the video, you are an extraordinary being, and I would love for you to join me in this crucible. But I've also found the most amazing transformational coaches, who are all rural women and who bring to the table their unique skills and gifts and are going to absolutely support you in this process. And we will bring them in as needed and required by the individual and the collective of the group. Because here's what we know about when women get together. We know that when women get together, and you can do this virtually and face-to-face, that you all are on the same page. You know, there's this is going to sound a little bit out there, and just bear with me if this isn't a concept that you've heard before. But when women get together for a long enough period of time, their cycles start to come into sync. Their period starts to come at the same time. It's a natural thing, and I don't remember what the biology reason or what the sort of ancestral reason for that is, but it's what happens. And so what we know is when women come together with the intent around healing and transformation, that they start to tune into each other. And so when one woman needs something particular, the rest of the women seem to need that as well, whether they know it or realise it consciously or not yet. And so we will absolutely be able to tailor this specifically for the needs of the group, for the needs of the specific women that come into the Full Bloom program. And that makes this transformational experience completely unique. It makes it tailored for you as an individual within a group process. And I feel like we're ready for this. We're ready for the conversations that we are going to inspire through this program. We are ready for challenging the status quo. We are ready to say it is time for women to lead as women and for women to rise in their power, but not power as a masculine control power, power as women, to stand in the truth of who we are. And through the program, which you can read more about underneath this video, the specifics and the detail, we are absolutely going to hold the space for those conversations, for those connections, for those personal and collective transformations. And we will 100%, I know, witness the full bloom of every single individual in every single part of her life. And I know that because I stand as a witness to that in the lives of the women that we've worked with over the last 3 years, that myself personally and the other women in our other female coaches, the other rural women coaches, that they stand as witness as well, that the women that they work with, when they harness this one thing, the energy, that everything else in their life transforms. Their businesses grow without doing any different marketing. Their relationships get better and deepen, and their communication with their intimate partners and their children just blossoms. They find that they're better managers and better leaders, that they are more humble in the way that they approach their lives, that they are able to take time off and not feel guilty, that they release old negative fears and negative behaviours. They're just gone. They're gone for good. Things just don't show up anymore, and they're grateful for that. If you want to join us, please pop in your details and on one of the buttons, just click one of the buttons that sit below this video and get on the phone and let's have a conversation. There's absolutely no obligation. If you want more information, if you want more detail, if you want me to help you find what it is that might be your personal energetic block, I'm more than happy to have the conversation with you. This program is not for everybody. It's only for women who genuinely want transformation, who are ready for something different, and who are wanting to really step into their true power and to really, really bloom in their life. And I would love to speak to you. It won't be a big group, and so the places are limited, and it is by application. So we're not going to take everybody. And we do that because we want the group to be safe, and so we have rules around who we will and won't accept. And I know that you will value and appreciate and honour that, particularly if you join us in the space. So pop in your details. If you've got any questions at all, just enter your name and your information so we can make contact with you and just see where you're at. And I just feel like we are home, and I really look forward to connecting with you on on this extraordinary full bloom transformation. Talk to you soon.